Good morning and welcome to our third summer special, Maths with Miss, live in London. Now, hopefully you're getting the idea of things now. Once again, sadly, this is a recorded session. But why are we here? What's the purpose of this? So this is aimed at Key Stage 3. If you're in Key Stage 2, brilliant, because it's getting really challenging, but you'll be able to do some of it. If you're in Key Stage 4, fantastic for some consolidation even, but you're still going to get some challenging questions that are going to help you. So 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays during the full 6 weeks of the school holidays. Let's get you ready for when you go back to school in September. Remember, the key to maths is little and often. It makes a massive difference. So what do you need? 2 pens, preferably 2 different colors for marking, especially the question behind us, which was set on Wednesday. Really handy if you've got 2 different colors for that. A ruler, if you have one, so you can set out your work neatly, underline, draw margins, and a notebook, again, if you have one, so that you are recording everything neatly as well. Finally, though, as many of you will now know, we need to bring our brains, our big, fantastic, fabulous brains, focus and attention just for half an hour, 3 times a week during our holidays, and that's really going to help us come September. If your parents are around, I've got a couple of tricky questions there in the parents versus kids challenge section, and also some really tricky challenges which I think your parents will struggle with as well. Okay, so we're going to be doing some challenges. We're going to be learning a few tricks around mathematics as well, and just exploring the subject in a little bit more detail. I now have a Facebook page. Again, it's called Maths with Miss Live in London. So I will be posting resources on there, and you can upload your work there to show me as well, which would be fantastic. So let's get started and let's look at that takeaway challenge that I left you on Wednesday. I'm just going to remind you of it here. If you didn't do this on Wednesday, now is your chance, because you can pause it and have a go now. For those of you who have done this question, we're now going to go through it together on the board. It's a tricky question. It's really quite a challenge, but let's see if we can work it out together. All right, so here's the board. You can see I've set it up. Hopefully you can just about see all of that. So we have 5 numbers in red, 4 numbers in blue. We are given the numbers, but we are given a very specific rule about them, aren't we? Let's reread what the question says. We want the colours to alternate, and that the number on every red card is a factor of the number next to it. So therefore a factor of one of the blue numbers. So a factor of one of the blue numbers. So we're going to start by listing out what the factors are of those blue numbers. Okay, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So firstly 3. 3 is a prime number. It only has 2 factors. So its factors are 3 and 1. Number 4. Okay. This, remember, that means ditto. It means I'm just copying that word again. Okay, so for 4, I'm going to have 4. I'm going to have 2. And I'm going to have 1, because 4 is a square number, and 2 multiplied by 2 gives me 4. 5 is also a prime number. Remember, prime numbers only have 2 factors, 1 in itself. So we have 5 and 1. And finally 6. It's going to have a factor of 6, a factor of 3, 2, and 1. So now we should be able to make a start. Let's focus on the numbers that only have two factors, those prime numbers. It's really important that we get those in the right place. Now 5 can only be next to a 5 and a 1. So I reckon 5's got to go at the end. Now 3 also only has two factors. It's also a prime number. But let's remember that 3 is also a factor of 6. So 3 has a little bit more flexibility. Right, so 5 has to go at the end. Doesn't matter which end, but it has to go at the end. I'm going to put it here because that's the end I'm closest to. So I have a red 5 that goes into the first box, and then I'm going to tick it off. It's really important that I cross them off as I go because that's going to make it easier for me. So in this box here, I have to have my 5. There's no other number I can put there other than 1. And if I can't put 1 there because I don't have 1. So there's my 5. Let's tick it off. 5 is a prime number, so now I must use my number 1. So I'm going to tick that off. Now remember when we looked at our number 3, which is also a prime number, it only has factors of 3 and 1. So I'm going to have to use my number 3. So I'm going to put my 3 here, my blue 3 here. I'm going to tick it off. Right, now I need to put my other 3 in here. So let's go with that one next. So here's my second 3. I'm going to tick that off. Now, next to my 3, well, I've used all the factors, but luckily, because 3 is a factor of 6, I can put my 6 here. Okay, we're nearly there, we're nearly there. So now we need a factor of 6. We've got a choice of 2 and 4. Well, obviously 4 is not a factor of 6, so we need to go with 2. Let's tick it off. I've only got one blue number left, which is my 4. Whoops, James, can you pick that up for me? Sorry. And I've only got one red. No, it's right by your foot. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so there we go. There we have our sequence. Now, the only other solution that you could have is if you did this completely in reverse. So there are two solutions. So we could have started with the 4 here and gone 4, 4, 2, 6, 3, 3, 1, 5, 5. Okay, so either would be absolutely fine. If you have managed to complete this, I would love to hear from you. So please put a comment down in the comments box at the bottom of this video. Right, let's do some maths. You're going to have 30 questions coming up and about 2 minutes per block of 10 questions. Let's get started. Okay, here are your first 10 questions.
30 seconds remaining.
Okay, part 2 coming up.
Thirty seconds remaining. Part 3 coming in now. Thirty seconds remaining.
You're out of time. We're going to go through some answers. And I was just whizzing it round to see if you could catch my son and I having a bit of a boogie. But he went and hid. Okay, so let's go through some answers. Please mark them, preferably with a different colour pen if you have one. Let's go. Part 1, the answer is 32. Part 2, the answer is 8. Sorry, question 2. Question 3, 39.4. Question 4, 16. Question 5, 70.67. Question 6, 1/2. Question 7, -2. Question 8, no, 6 is not a factor of 21. And the parent versus kids challenge, the value of -2 cubed is -8. Okay, total up your scores. Let's keep going with part 2. So we have question 1. The answer is 23,700. Question 2 is 70. Question 3 is 10.44. Question 4 is 80%. Question 5 is 33.33. Question 6 is 5. Question 7 is 8. Question 8 is 10. And the parent versus kids challenge, 110% of £400 is £440. Right, part 3, we're nearly done. Okay, so the number, that has got nothing to do with me, by the way, look. That's my son getting a bit carried away with my pointy stick. Okay, so the number in words is 11,641,013. Question 2, the answer is 7.64. Question 3 is -40. Question 4 is 5.0. The 0 shows us the degree of accuracy to which we have rounded. Question 5 is 6. Question 6 is 64. Question 7 is 54. Question 8 is 32.89. And 8,000 divided by 64, that is our parent versus kids challenge. It is 125. Remember, with this last question, I have mentioned this before. If you write 8,000 divided by 64 as a fraction, you can then simplify it. I do not know my 64 times table, but I do know that I can simplify 8,000 divided by 64 to 4,000 over 32, or 2,000 over 16, or 1,000 over 8. And I do know my 8 times table, so I can work out that 1,000 divided by 8 is 125. Okay, so please total up your scores. Please total up your scores. And if you can put them in the comments at the bottom, that would be great. So it's now time for your first challenge question. Challenge question coming up. Music going on. Dodgy son dancing somewhere in the background. Let's go. just pause for 1 second? Because you know when you're at school and there's always that one naughty kid trying to distract you. Look, today it's my son. And you guys are all working hard on this question and he keeps walloping me on the head with the pointy stick. So, and now I know what he's like in the classroom. Right, I'm going to give you 1 more minute. Okay, your time is up. Remember, you can pause it. And if you need a little bit more time, that's absolutely fine. But I am going to go through the solution with you now on the board. Okay, so hopefully you've got the question written down. I have summarized it on the board here as well. So we have 81 players in the tournament. Each game, each match in the tournament has 3 players. 2 get eliminated and 1 remains. Okay, and we want to know how many matches have to be played until there is 1 overall winner. Let's take a look. So let's move this across a little bit. Can you still see that? Just about, yeah. So we've got 81 players and they are all going to play a match. And there are 3 players per match. So in the first round, we are going to have 27 matches. Okay. Now, after that, 2 out of 3 people are eliminated, but 1 out of 3 people gets to stay. So the 27 winners of these 27 matches get to stay. And now they've got to play in round 2. So now we have got 27. So if you like, this column here is the number of players. We started with 81. Now we've got 27 players. Okay, they play in matches of 3 players. So another 9 matches are going to be played. Okay, we're going to have 18 losers who are out of the competition and 9 winners who stay in. They need to play again. So these 9 players now play again. 3 players per match. Okay, so for this 3rd round, we are going to have 3 matches. We now have 3 people left, just 3 players left in the tournament. They need to play that 1 final match. And now we need to total them up to get the total number of matches. Okay, 27 plus 9, 36, 39, 40. Remember, when you're adding up, you can make life easy for yourself. So you could add the 3 and the 27 to give you 30 and the 9 and 1 to give you 10. And then you get 40 nice and easily, okay? So the answer to challenge question 1 is that you need 40 matches. Right, let's get started with challenge question 2. 30 more seconds. Okay, let's take a look. So I've summarised it on the board. Got 280 people going to the theatre. An adult ticket costs £6. 4/7 of the people are children. The total sales revenue is £1,120. And the question is, how much does a child ticket cost? This is quite a complicated worded question. We need to break it down one step at a time. So let's start with this information here, that 4/7 of the people going are children. Okay, so we know there are 280 people altogether. We know 4/7 of them. Okay, I can write off as a multiplication sign. Okay, so I can multiply that across, or some of you might be familiar with cross cancelling, because I know that 7 is a factor of 280. Okay, so this is going to give me, if I do cross cancel it, I'm going to get 4 multiplied by 40 over 1, because that would cancel down to 40 and 1. So I've got 160 over 1, or 160. I'm going to have to remove my friendly little hello from James message here. I don't know if anybody spotted that, but it's in my way. Sorry, James. Oh, I hope you didn't use the permanent marker. It is going, sorry. Smiley face is gone. So this was, let's go back to the question. This was the amount of children. Thank you. Okay, so let's make sure that that is clear, because we don't want to get muddled up and then make a mistake. Okay, so 160 children. We know there are 280 in total. So we've got 280, that's the total number of people going. 160 of them are children. Write children there to be sure. So that means that we've worked out that the number of adults going is 120. 160 children, 120 adults. So we've used that bit of information there. Let's tick it off. Let's go back to the start now, because maybe we can use this information now. An adult ticket costs £6, and we've got 120 adults. So now we can work out the total cost of all those adult tickets. 120 adults multiplied by £6 per ticket is going to give us a revenue of £720. That is for all the adult tickets. Okay, 120 adult tickets multiplied by £6, 720. Tick that off. We've got one more bit of information we've not used. The total revenue, the total amount of money from the ticket sales was £1,120. We know the revenue for the adult tickets. Maybe we should write adult there just to be sure that we don't forget. We're subtracting that £720, and that is going to give me how much we received in total for the children's tickets. Okay, so 1120 subtract 720 gives me £400. That's for the children's tickets. One more step, okay? £400 for the children's tickets. How much does each children's ticket cost? £400 for all of them. How many children did I have? Let's have a look. I know I've got the information here. It's right at the top. It's 160 children. If I calculate that, I'm going to get a cost of £2.50. That's the cost per ticket per child, okay? £2.50 per ticket. Remember, as I mentioned before, I don't know my 160 times table. So if I was doing that calculation, I would probably do 400 over 160. I would simplify it to say 40 over 16, 20 over 8. Sorry, I've made a right mess there. 10 over 4, which is 2.5 or £2.50. Okay, so that was your challenge question number 2. We've got a couple of dingbat questions coming up now. We've got this first teaser. Are you ready? You sure? Let's go. Have you got it? Pause it if you don't want to know. It is counting the days. Sorry, corny, but there you go. Now your maths dingbat. Have you got it? Pause if you don't want to know yet. It was a
Protractor.
A protractor. Okay. Do you like my fab? Look at that. This is a special protractor for drawing on whiteboards. I'm going to use that in one of my lessons. Okay. So I'm going to put up the review questions. Not the review questions. The final takeaway challenge for today. Okay, that's all from me. Wishing you a fantastic weekend. I will see you on Monday. Please take a moment to write down the problem of the day, and yeah, look forward to what solutions you come up with on Monday. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you, guys.